Well, another Pokemon Presents has come and by, and what do I think about it? It's pretty good. It's kind of weird because I feel like we knew everything going into it. So on one hand, you can take this presentation as nothing really surprised the viewer at all. So it was kind of a mid-presentation. But if you look at it in terms of like the quality within the presentation, some could say it's a 10 out of 10. And hell, I would argue it's a pretty solid 8 out of 10 for me. There was a lot of really cool surprises and a lot of cool things. And a lot of things that they improved on that I was just overall very upset with in regards to the format of the Pokemon Presents. But today we're going to be mostly talking about the two major announcements in the form of Pokemon Champions and Pokemon Legends EA. But before we do, I kind of want to highlight my little speculation video I did because, oh man, I love giving myself credit for predicting things in advance. So pretty much everything I said about the mobile games was correct. Pokemon Concierge got a Season 2, and this part is kind of funny because I did cut this out of the video. You have to take my word for this. I know there's no proof anymore, but you have to take my word for this. But Pokemon Concierge, I mentioned in that video that, hey, it's a little suspicious that they uploaded videos of Pokemon Concierge on their YouTube account. And I said, does that mean we're getting a Season 2? And whoop-de-doo, we got a Season 2. I hate myself. I hate myself for that. And now it's just my word against your guys's. Like, it sucks. It actually sucks. And outside of the mobile games, we also had Pokemon Champions. And I never mentioned anything in the video, but I was going to mention something in the video in regards to something related to Pokemon Champions. But I ended up not having time to add it into the video because by the time this person responded to me asking if I could mention their comment in the video, it was a little too late. But now that I'm making a discussion video, we can go back and include it. I am looking for the comment right now. All right, so this comes from one of my Discord members, Chuni. He says, I hope you get a battle functionality in Pokemon Home. It could become a hub for competitive and be a really cool. Every Pokemon could be used and hacking wouldn't be as much of a problem or an issue. Also encourages people to buy Home. And this was posted on the 24th of 2025, as you can see here. So yeah, very legit here. It wasn't, he didn't respond to me on time, but I wanted to highlight his comment, because yeah, this dude is a prophet because we ended up getting Pokemon's, champions, and that is awesome. I think that is hilarious. But yeah, that is just me giving myself a pat on the back for my epic predictions because I am always right. I know everything about Pokemon. Some could say I am literally the Pokemon himself. But yeah, that's kind of all the needless, all the stuff that I don't think is important out of the way. Let's get into the major stuff. Pokemon Champions, Pokemon Legends EA. We're going to start with Pokemon Champions. Now, the trailer itself, kind of freaking whack, all right? I thought it was just one of those, like, it was just another one of those, oh, the celebration of Pokemon. And I was like, dude, nobody cares. Stop. But then they showed a kid on their phone, and I was like, what is happening? Why do I see a Dondozo, a Aegislash, a Samurai, and a Charizard at a Pokemon Stadium? Why does this just look like Sword and Shield? Maybe with a dash of Scarlet and Violet. But then when the trailer gets interesting though, is that when you see the Dondozo not only go through a Terra transformation, but we also see Mega Charizard X come out. And oh my god, yeah. That's when I knew something was up. It is a sequel to the Pokemon Stadium games, I guess. Well, I don't know. It's kind of its own thing, but in spirit, it's a Pokemon Stadium game. And yeah, there's not really much to talk about here. You kind of already get the gist of it. And unfortunately, we're kind of only able to get information on the website. We're not really able to dissect much from the trailer. I mean, it's mostly CG. It's not really showing any gameplay here. And the gameplay it does show, it just looks like a normal Pokemon game. Anyway, this goes without saying, but Pokemon Champions is purely battling. This is literally Pokemon battles. This is just purely Pokemon Showdown. Now, I don't know if you guys know what Pokemon Showdown is, but it's basically like a battle simulator on the googles.com. And it's just a battle simulator. You just get some Pokemon, you generate mods, or you use a random team of Pokemon, and you just battle it out. And it's really cool and intuitive. I'm surprised it's lasted as long as it has on the interwebs. But now Pokemon's finally making a successor to it, I guess. Showdown's still on the internet, so I don't know if they're planning to take it down or not. But Pokemon Champions is here, and it might be here to stay. We do have more information on their official website, and it says, get ready to experience everything you love about Pokemon battles all in one place, in Pokemon Champions. The new battle-focused game will feature familiar mechanics such as Pokemon types, abilities, and moves, creating an environment and varied strategies for new and experienced trainers alike. It's not just familiar mechanics, you'll also be able to bring in classic Pokemon for Pokemon Home too. Look forward to the cross-platform battles alongside your favorite Pokemon on Nintendo Switch and mobile, with a variety of different modes available for your desired experience. I will say one of the most interesting things to come out of this thing is that this is going to be on mobile devices. I have no idea how that works. I have no idea how we're going to go about that, but apparently you're going to be able to play this on the go. Well, I mean, I guess the Switch could also play it on the go, but you know what I mean. Now, I will say it is kind of a little weird. We didn't get much information in regards to this game, so I kind of had to do some digging in regards to this game, because there actually really isn't that much. I mean, a lot of it you can kind of just assume how it's going to go. But I was a little worried about the wording of Pokemon Home, that you need to transfer your Mons in here to use them for this battle format. So I was starting to dig, and so I did some digging, and I went to Centro Leaks, and Centro, my boy, he had some words to say. He says Pokemon Champions will be a digital only game and will be a paid title, not free. Nintendo Switch Online membership will be required for online play and isn't required for free-to-play games. He then also replies with this little like handy-dandy graph here, which kind of concerns me about this game and the longevity of it. He says, so to play VGC from now on, you will potentially need to purchase the main series of games to catch Pokemon, purchase Pokemon Champions to battle, subscribe to Pokemon Home to store your Pokemon, and subscribe to Nintendo Switch Online to play. Dude, my God, that is a lot. That is a lot. First off, you have to buy this game, which is weird because it's going to be free on mobile devices, as far as we're aware. Second, you need to buy a main series game. As far as we're aware, you cannot generate Pokemon like you can in Pokemon Showdown. As far as we're aware, you have to transfer Pokemon into this game, which look, okay, if I already have to spend money on Champions, why do I have to, I have to go buy a Pokemon game to put Pokemon into my Pokemon game that I bought? You know, am I crazy? Am I crazy for saying that? Like, why aren't more people talking about this? This is a little concerning. And then not only that, you have to subscribe to Pokemon Home to store your Pokemon. Now, obviously, you don't have to subscribe to Pokemon Home, but let's be real with ourselves here. The one box limit of 30 Pokemon slots is not going to cut it for competitive Pokemon. Dude, because that's like 5 teams that you'll be able to have. You can make 5 teams in Pokemon Champions, and that is it. You'll be done. You won't be able to make any more teams for this game unless you buy a subscription to Pokemon Home. That is mad greedy. I'm sorry. And then subscribe to Nintendo Switch Online to play. And, you know, at that point, I can't even really be mad at that. Maybe it's because I'm a meat writer for Nintendo. Who knows? But in general, I mean, subscribing to Nintendo Online, I mean, that was kind of expected. Out of all these, I was like, yeah, I mean, if it's online, it's, you know, Nintendo's going to have a say about it. They're going to want a piece of the pie. And yeah, and then Central also follows up with, this applies exclusively to the Switch version. We don't know how pricing will work on the mobile version yet. So as far as we're aware, the mobile version will either be free or you'll have to pay for it. So there's some people in my community, and also kind of myself included, that Pokemon Champions was like the highlight of this presentation, right? The very thought of it is such a great idea in regards to the future of Pokemon, making the battles the core part of the, gameplay, you know, having a game where all you do is battle, the thing that I personally kind of enjoy, you know, the thing that, because I don't know, the other stuff I don't really care too much about, at least as of recent, like the recent stuff hasn't really like grabbed me that hard before. So nowadays I just want to play with the new mechanics, and I just want to battle people, because I love going with my friends and just battling people, and this could do that, you know, we won't have to fight against a bunch of PNGs in Showdown. But with what they're mentioning here, with all the things you'll have to buy, and the fact you can't even generate Pokemon within Pokemon Champions themselves, you're going to have to, you're going to literally have to play a whole Pokemon game and then use those Pokemon that you got in that Pokemon game to play with them in Champions after already buying Champions, which for all we know could be full price. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, red flag. Overall, though, if this is like what it seems like, and if it's gonna be like Pokemon Showdown, then needless to say, I'm really excited for this presentation, but I am very scared at the same time. And I hope you guys can understand where I'm coming from when I'm bringing this all up. It's not me like hating, you know, because I speak for a lot of people, including myself. This is like one of my favorite things to have come out of this presentation. This is definitely one of my favorite moves that Pokemon has done in a hot minute, you know, but at the same time, I am very, very worried for how Pokemon might handle this game. Anyways, moving on to kind of the big thing, and also hello people who skipped to this part, because honestly, I understand if you do want to skip to this part, you didn't want to hear about Pokemon Champions, you want to hear my thoughts on Legends EA. Rest assured, compared to Pokemon Champions, I have a lot more positive things to say about Legends EA. Speaking of which, let's get the one negative thing out of the way, alright? You know, yeah, I said it, the one negative thing, okay? Let's talk about this starter selection. What are we doing here? Look, it's not even that I hate these starters. Okay, I lied. I actually don't like Gen 2 that much, so this is kind of... I can feel the dislikes coming. Yeah, I know. I don't know why, but I've just never been the biggest fan of Gen 2. But okay, my bias aside, all right, I don't understand why we have 2 Gen 2 starters. It just doesn't really make much sense because what is it? We already had Cyndaquil, Oshawott, and Rowlet in Legends Arceus, right? So that's Gen 7, Gen 5, and Gen 2, right? So you would think in the next Legends game we were gonna get 3 completely different regions, right? One would think, right? But no, it's not only Gen 2 again, but it's also Gen 5. And not only is it Gen 2 again, it's Gen 2 again. Like, brother, like, what is the starter selection? Like, if you were just gonna do Gen 2, why not just bring back Cyndaquil? You know, why not just bring him back at all? Like, there's so many problems with the starter lineup, like, I don't even know where to begin. Like, if you were gonna do Gen 2, why not bring back all Gen 2? If you were gonna have one Gen 5, why not have it all be Gen 5? Why is Tepig even here if you weren't gonna commit? Like, it doesn't make much sense. And it seems like they were trying to do what Legends Arceus did, but at the same time, they just gave up and decided to just do Total Out Chicken. I don't understand. The more you think about the starter selection, the more, like, I'm just confused. I don't understand. It's like they just put their hand in a hat and just randomly pick, like, which starters to put in the games. Because I genuinely don't know why. There's no reason to pick these 3. Whatever. You could have went with Snivy, the Year of the Snake. If you had to do Gen 5, you could have did Snivy, the Year of the Snake as well. But I guess no. Screw that, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, for the starter I'm picking, I am going to pick Tepig because I am a massive Gen 5 guy. No matter what starter, I will always pick Gen 5. I picked Oshawott in Legends Arceus, and I plan on continuing that trend. And the only other question I'd probably have for the starters is, are they going to get Mega Forms or Regional Forms? And I'm going to say Megas because Regional Forms did not exist prior to Kalos, and I don't think they're going to do that now. I know obviously Paldean for not Paldean, sorry. What was the region? I'm getting old. What was that region called? Hisuian, dude. Yeah, we had Hisuian forms. But considering Kalos takes place in the future and not even that like that long after the events of X and Y, I would imagine we are not going to get regional forms. And if we do get regional forms, they better have a very good explanation, because I don't think it's going to make much sense that regional forms were introduced like 7 years after the events of X and Y. Moving on from the starters, though, we also, you know, I want to highlight the protagonists. I know it's the stuff that people don't care about, but I just want to highlight this because, oh my god, dude, the protagonists have so much drip, and it's like, it's insane. Like, look at them. Just, I have them on screen. Look at them. Oh my god. I love them. I freaking love it. It's been, what, since, like, Legends Arceus, since we've had good, like, protagonist designs. I did not like the Scarlet and Violet ones because they look like 2-year-olds. I wasn't a fan of the Gen 7 ones. Gen 8. Yeah, Gen 8's Galar. I know a lot of people like them. I personally was not a fan. They were kind of generic in my opinion. I know people really like Gloria, but I'm just not a fan of her personally. I'm sorry. But what is it? And then Sun and Moon, I mean, they were just kind of alright. But these guys, like, I feel strong. I feel such a strong connection with them. Also, the jacket, oh my god, I need that in real life. I need their jacket in real life, like, yesterday. I don't know how they're rocking the green so casually. Like, look at the green and brown. I know that's, like, Zygarde's colors, but, like, oh my god. Dude, they rock it. They act, oh, dude, the more I stare at them, the more I'm like, oh my god. I cannot wait to play as these two. Dude, the drip is just insane. It's just insane. Am I going crazy? Am I going crazy over these character designs? I don't know, but I just like them a lot. They're just, they make me smile. I like them. We then also have our rivals, Urbine and Tween. They definitely pronounced it in the trailer. I know for a fact they did. I just do not remember. Funnily enough, people pointed this out on Twitter. They are literally the protagonist, like the haircuts and like facial expression. Literally, it's just the protagonist, but with a different hair color and whatnot. I imagine they're doing that so that way you don't see the resemblance, because I see it too well. They're literally just you with different hair colors and different outfits, which, by the way, they're also rocking. Their drip is out of this world, bro. I don't I don't know why. I don't know why everybody's so dripped out in this game. I don't understand. Then we also have AZ. Now, it's so funny watching other PokeTubers like dissect the trailer, and they're like, oh man, this AZ guy, he probably has a lot to say on the story. And it's like, do they know? Do they know? But yes, AZ is going to be a major role in this story. And yeah, so for people who didn't know that yes, this does take place in the future after the events of Pokemon X and Y. And yeah, we can see that with AZ's Floette. She's back. She's chilling with him. And yeah, he's looking nice. He's looking a lot better than the rags he was wearing earlier. And now he looks all cleaned up. You know, he looks as cleaned up as an old man could be. And also just Floette in general. It is terrifying to see Floette in the modern day. If you guys don't know, Floette was it was a thing in the Pokemon games files. It had a signature move that I've seen a lot of hackers and ROM games utilize. It was like Light of Ruin, and it was so good. It did like 140 fairy damage, and it was like a hyper beam, but it did recoil damage. It was so cool. And yeah, you could hack AZ Floette in the game, but you could never use it. But now, AZ Floette is not only seen in the modern day, but apparently it's gonna also, you know, have a major role in the story, which is insane to me. I think it's just insane. It's almost nostalgic because I kind of grew up with these games. Obviously, I did grow up with Gen 5, but like seeing AZ in the modern day, seeing the official Nintendo account promote this Floette AZ Floette, it's insane. It's insane. And then we also have Jet and Vinny. Not really much to add on to them. I'm not going to really talk about them too much because they're the one things we don't really know too much about. They run a company. They want to build a city that belongs to people in Pokemon. They are definitely the villains. I'm sorry. You cannot tell me otherwise. We've seen this song and dance multiple times. They are definitely the villains. And then, of course, Mega Evolution will be returning. We don't know the role that it's going to play. I think they're kind of being a little vague about it on purpose. But yes, the Megas are back. They're all here, including the Oraz ones. We also have Mega Sableye, Mega Altaria, and that was from Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. So alongside with those, we also get to see Mega Charizard X, Y, Mega Kangaskhan, Mega Ampharos, Mega Gardevoir, Mega Absol, and Mega Lucario. So yes, dudes, the Mega forms are back, and you can see a picture of the trainer using the Mega Stone or the Keystone. And yeah, dude, the drip is insane. The drip is insane. But yeah, we're going to get back to kind of like how Mega Evolution works a little bit. I just wanted to go through the website real quick before we dissect the trailer. But yes, oh my god, the drip, dude. It's so good. I cannot stop talking about the drip. The drip on these guys is out of the world, dude. It's out of this world. All right, onto the trailer. Obviously we kind of knew this going into the trailer as well as just in general, but I just want to make it clear for everybody watching. Everyone's like, oh, wait, why is it just Lumio City? Where's all the crazy environments? The game is only going to be taking place in Lumio City. Now, they did say there's going to be a bunch of like wild zones, like little wild zones where you're going to be able to fight Pokemon and whatnot within the city. They mentioned how the city has been overtaken by Pokemon in a good way, not like in a bad way, but they let the city be a place for both people and Pokemon. And I would imagine that that's going to be our way to experience new environments. And I imagine because that this is in the future, that they're going to try to expand the city a lot more for more crazy environments and whatnot. We're going to see this place is going to be a lot more bigger than we're going to think it is. But it is still a little interesting how it's going to work. This is definitely going to be story narrative. Like, it's definitely going to be narrative focused because I just don't see how you can make this big city work. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe they can surprise us. Maybe they can. We also see that these wild zones have like little like holographic gates as well. We also saw that a little early in the trailer. We see like holographic trainers, which I'm pretty sure is like the little like news broadcast you get when remember when like Lysander would call you an X and Y. I'm pretty sure that's just like them like redoing that and like reconceptualizing like what that would look like in a 3D environment. But now we have these like little like 3D gates or whatever. They have numbers on them. I don't know if that like showcases like, you know, how strong these gates are going to be and how you know, how like the level of like strength the Pokemon are going to be within these gates. But we're going to see. We'll see what they'll do with that. But, you know, I'm looking at this number 1 gate right now. I'm not seeing much space in between this gate and the next gate that you can see in front of you, which both say number 1. So I imagine this is the number 1 wild zone. But yeah, I have no idea how they're going to be able to take advantage of the space here and use it all in a meaningful way. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Obviously, the catching is back. I'm pretty sure it works almost like Arceus, except I don't know if the Pokemon are going to attack you. A lot of people keep forgetting this. This is the modern day. I have to remind you all. This is modern day Pokemon, all right? This isn't the prehistoric era where all the Pokemon would fight you. So this is now the modern day. But, you know, moving on, we do get into the combat a little bit. And not only has the combat changed, but they also might have taken a page out of Xenoblade Chronicles. As you can see here, the moves, the little moves on the right. I mean, that is very, very Xenoblade coded right there. I'm just saying. But it looks like this game is going to be a massive action RPG rather than a regular turn-based RPG. Next to the moves as well, we also we look above and we see like a little turn thing. You know, it's kind of hard to describe. You kind of see an Octopath Traveler as well as the original Legends Arceus, but it basically shows like not only does it like obviously read off like what's happening in the battle, but it also like tells you like when your turn is and like what what's happening and whatnot. You know, so it's like, oh, you know, you have like 2 turns to act, but after that 2 turns, then this Flaffy is going to start attacking, and that's basically what that is. It's kind of hard to describe. But also, later on in the trailer, we also see a Tepig use rollout on a Totodile, and we see the Totodile running away. A lot of people were comparing this to the Pokemon anime and be like, wow, so I can scream dodge, and my Pokemon will dodge. You know, like how Ash Ketchum would used to do it. But yeah, no, it's exciting. It's genuinely super exciting to watch and see this. I don't know how far it's gonna go, because theoretically, you know, if you're good at the game, you could theoretically just continuously dodge forever. But we'll see. I think they're gonna work around it. You know, I think they're gonna work around it, but we'll see. Oh, actually, one more thing before we move on. This Chikorita, I did say I was gonna talk about Mega Evolution later. The Chikorita has Disarming Voice. That is a move that Chikorita does not learn, usually. I wonder what this means. Could mean something. Who knows? Yeah, I think we're getting the Mega Chikorita. I think that's very likely. But yeah, then we also, you know, we see these trainers also fighting on the rooftops of Kalos, which I just think is insane. I think it's insane to watch. I don't know. Not much to say. I just think it's crazy. We could go on the roof and just fight people. We see this Hippowdon taking on a Talonflame somehow, and I think it's crazy. They're going back to the Legends Arceus style of having like moves like Stealth Rock like actually do damage, and we see it like doing damage to this Talonflame here, which I think is really crazy. So it's gonna be weird to wrap my brain around the Legends Arceus mechanics and have like the moves actually like do damage, but you know. But yeah, we'll see how it works once we get into there. And then, of course, the big one, Mega Evolution. Again, not much to talk about here. The little animation when he does the Mega Evolution is so super cool. But something interesting to note is that when you do Mega Evolve, all your moves get a little symbol next to them. We can see it with his Absol. Absol? What's an Absol? We can see with this Absol here, he has Knight/G, or Knight/G with a cross. I don't know what that is. But we see that their moves get a whole, like, complete revamp in them somehow, if that makes sense. They get a whole, like, they get redone, and they become more powerful versions. And not only that, if we look at the bottom right, we see that there's a Mega Stone meter. The Mega Evolutions have a time limit now, which is very interesting. That's not something that happened before, so I wonder if they're going to retcon that on the story, you know, to explain why that happens, or if they're just doing that for balance reasons and they're not going to explain it at all. But it sounds like Mega Evolution is going to be one of those things that you got to time correctly. You got to hit them when they're down. You got to pop the Mega Evolution and just start wailing at them. And it's going to be cool to watch. I think it's going to be so freaking cool to watch. And also just seeing the animations in the trailer of some of the moves coming out from these Mega Pokemon are insane. They're insane. And then yeah, the trailer just kind of ends with like, you know, it just kind of shows off some of the environment a bit. We see Looker's little office from the post game of XY, which I think is interesting. We see a Zygarde cell running around on the city rooftops, which I think is cool. And then it shows the title card, and yeah. And then we also get like a little like teaser at the very end. It shows like Lumiose Tower or Prism Tower or whatever with like a purple Pokeball at the top of it. I don't know what that means. I don't think anybody really knows what that means, but it's gonna mean something, I guess. Who knows? But yeah, that was the Legends EA overview, and yeah, what an overview. The game doesn't look the greatest thing ever, but you could definitely see that the game was been given an extra year of time. Because it did get extra time, because we didn't get anything in 2024 outside of the Scarlet and Violet DLC at the beginning of the year. So to see this, and it actually looks good. All right, I'm not gonna say it's the greatest looking thing ever, but it actually looks good, and it actually got it. Like, it has me excited. Like, it's awesome. I'm so happy that I'm like excited for a Pokemon game again. You know, because of this. Like, it's awesome. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. And Mega's being back. Oh my god, I'm so happy. I'm so happy, dude. Oh my god. There's not really much to say. I'm kind of rambling at this point. I should probably end the video soon, but now, you know what else would make it really good? It's if they included the Mafia bit that I mentioned in my speculation video. I still want my Mafia, bro. I still want to see the Mafia, and I still want to see the gang wars in this game. Like, come on, let's make it happen. Come on. And with that, I'm going to end the video here. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe. And if you have a moment, comment below what you're excited about in regards to Pokemon Legends EA or Pokemon Champions. And if you have a favorite thing that came out of the trailer, be sure to let me know. Talk about it all in the comments. Let's get a discussion going. Let's do it. Stay hydrated, stay cool, and we'll see you all in another video. Bye-bye!